driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us. And remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
And we're back. You're back. Back in the saddle again. And Amber's here. She's number one, just like Bo Nix. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Working on an event Angel and I are doing. And yeah, sometimes, and I use ChatGPT to make things, and sometimes you gotta argue with it and stuff. What was wrong with that? The QR code with it. Okay. All right. So I think this is it. Yeah, this one was it. So I'm going to show you what I got done real quick. Do Windows. There you go. All right. That's the flyer for it. November 13th. All right. I know you care. Don't act like you don't care. You care. All right. We care. Okay. I've got to do that this way. Okay. There we go. And of course, I'm getting used to my new computer and stuff too. Working a lot better. So it isn't just my lives that are all screwed up. Everybody's is today. So I kind of feel like I was told them what was going on, but yeah, they was for me. It's all right. Figure out another way to do it, but it takes YouTube 24 hours. See, it just did it again. Lost connection. It's gonna do that, all right? But what happens when I'm done, it's supposed to put it together and make it so I can download it here on Restream, and it's not even doing that. So I'm having to wait for YouTube to finish processing it, which could take 24 hours. So now Instagram and Substack are going to be 24 hours behind. They also screwed up my counts. All right, doesn't matter. Actually, it kind of does. Worked hard on those counts. Okay. At least for Podbean and Substack. Restream. And it was funny because they sent me a message. You should be they should download. And I wrote, I'm like, yeah, I didn't download today. Well, it's all in trouble. I'm like, I know, I'm just letting you know it didn't happen. Right. So why do I do that? Because when it's done and fixed, I'm going to ask for money and I need proof. And then they're going to say, well, everybody was affected. I'm going to say, yeah, but I came to you 2 weeks ago. See? I always have to talk about something before I get started. Today, this was just something. I was actually talking with Pastor Marcia, and we were talking about regret a little bit. I'm like, oh, must be time to talk about living with regret and not living with it, right? So welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion, and I just remembered I have not eaten all day. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I wonder why I have a little bit of a headache. That's where I grab some water. That would be a great idea. And I'm back. All right. Shell says, I care. Thank you. I do care too, but you know, I don't want to, yeah, I could get angry about it if I want, but it's just not going to solve, well, anything. Oh, no regrets. Now, when I used to say no regrets, it meant when I was drinking, what it meant was I don't care what happens. That's what no regrets meant. Now, it means something a little different. It means that I've taken care of everything in my past that I need to take care of. That's what that is. You know, and we've all got a past, but we do not need to live there. It is the past. I know the past can still hurt. Right? Sure, it can, but we can't live there. I'll give you a really good example here. The man that raised me, right? If he was to pass away tomorrow, I would not have any regrets. In fact, I can't think of anyone in my life right now where if they were gone tomorrow, I've said everything that I've needed to say. Now, I might regret, not spending more time with them, maybe, certain, but these are not things that an alcoholic needs to live with. And what about the shame? Notice I didn't put blame in here. Okay. And we're doing that because this is internal stuff. All right. So we're not talking about the external right now. We're just talking internal. Okay. Shame is internal, blame is external, usually. All right. And either way, it's still blame. All right. Now, what if it's on us? Okay. Well, if we blame ourselves, well, you could take that and turn it into accountability instead. Then be accountable for it. Thank God for the 10th step. Thank God for the 4th step, or I wouldn't be able to do the 10th step. All right. So, like if I regretted burning calories, well, we don't, then we'd all be Olympic athletes. Regret is not an action. All right. That was just a joke. ChatGPT gave me enough. It sucked. So why do we let it stick around? But number one, we're kind of used to it, right? Now, what does it do? Well, it feeds your ego and or your fear. But there's that extreme again. There's that extreme of an alcoholic, right? And it's not doing a very good job here because it sticks around the belief that we're still the same person that we were. Shame whispers you'll never change, but recovery proves you already have. So I got to throw this in there. Encouragement. Give people encouragement in these meetings, for God's sakes. Because here's the thing, if you can have intrusive thoughts and judgmental thoughts about other people, then you can see the good in them too. That means you have the capability to listen to what it is that they're saying and let them know that you have seen change. Okay. And when I let people know, let's say in the grassroots meeting, see, I'm respected in that meeting. I'm trusted. If I say I'm going to do something, I usually do it. And if I don't do it, I'm going to give you why. Okay. Hey, I'm not up for it. I can't do this today. I'm having a harder day, but I'm not going to make an excuse as to why I cannot do it. All right. I have no idea where I was going with that. All right. Oh, that's what it was. The encouragement. All right. So when you tell somebody you're doing a great job and they have a little bit of respect for you, well, it's going to be a big help. Last week, my therapist did that with me. Oh, so I'm getting a little lightheaded. Weird. Weird. Give me a second. All right. Great. Finally, it's done. Angel said that one works, so we're good. Well, we did it. It looked great, but the QR code didn't work. So I can't. Now I know I can't trust ChatGPT to make the QR code. It's not hard to do. You can make a QR code with the ellipsis at the top of the page there. So I know how to do it real quick. I'll show it to you. You can make a QR code on any page that you want. You just go to these three little dots up here. All right. Pull it back so you can read it. All right. Then you go down to what is it? Tab groups, extensions. Oh, cast, save, and share. And then you go down here. It says create QR code. There you go. That's how you make a QR code for a page. There you go. This is the little stuff that I know. That's why I can get stuff done a little bit quicker. Because I know the shortcuts. I know all the shortcuts. And then Windows 11 has changed it. So but just like everything else I kind of talk about, what's the reason that we do this? Well, we do it for our own serenity. All right. So, and you have changed. You can't stick around in this program and not change, right? So we need to kind of break it down a little bit, right? And 4 through 9 is really important in this. And believe it or not, ChatGPT just told me that too. Good on you, ChatGPT. It's learning. It's learning. All right. You got it right. Good job. I'll even go tell it. All right. Thank you, Butk. Sorry, Michelle saying it's thank you, BUTC, Butk. I should try to say thank you, but where somebody will give you a compliment. Right? If somebody gives you a compliment, don't blow it off. Just say thank you. Whether you feel like you deserve it or not, just say thank you. All right. And when you are encouraging, do not hand out fake compliments. That's a fake compliment is the worst of the worst. So be careful on that, right? But I don't think I need a cue. Are you drunk? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Right. So 4 through 9 helps us work through these things. The way it helps break it down, causes and conditions, what we're doing, right? Because if we're not going to live with regret or shame, then we need to confront what we've done in the past. Right? Shells, dang it, I can't type today. L9L. This is right next to the O. Lionel. That's how you would say that. Lionel. Lionel. All right. All right. So we got to take care of these things. Okay. And this goes true for anybody. I'm a believer that the 12 steps can help anybody. It really can. Maybe you're doing really good already. What can the 12 steps do for you? Well, they're going to improve it. Maybe the 12 steps will help you find your higher power. May will do certain things. But, I think everybody would probably be better if they did a 4th and 5th step. Right? Don't we see it all the time on TV with people going to confessionals? Yeah. So maybe they are kind of taking care of it, but we got to get to that deep rooted stuff. We really do. We got to get to the deep rooted stuff. At least we do. Maybe non-alcoholics don't need to do that, but I know we alcoholics do, because I need to be able to see where I'm wrong so I can correct it. But what I don't need to do is beat the crap out of myself in order to do it. That we don't need to do. All right. And like anything else, this is practiced. practice, practice, practice. All right. So, like anything that we do, we are just practicing not beating up on ourselves. All right. So, I find that one of the biggest regrets usually has to do with it usually has to do with family, but it's usually the kids. My kids don't want to talk. And you hear this all the time now. Right now we have what's called cancel culture. Um, by the way, you can't truly cancel out a human being. All right. Only God can do that. All right. So you don't get to cancel out people. We don't get to do that. All right. Um, I think it's pretty horrible. But I also don't know what's going on. That when it comes to cancel culture, it's very specific to each individual person because I don't know what happened. I don't know how much they can take. Things like that. Uh, but man, you'd have to do something pretty bad to me for me to not be willing to help you. You'd have to do something pretty bad. In fact, I don't think there's actually anybody that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm not willing to help who means business. They've got to mean business. You're going to need to change. Okay? Or otherwise I'm just going to frustrate you. Because I'll ask. Doing your fourth step. You told me you were working on your fourth step and you have a hard time getting it done. So I know that if I kind of, is it done yet? Okay. Help your sponsor out here a little bit. With your fourth step, let's go hanging out on that thing, right? Because it's the beginning of a new life. It's the beginning of a new life. No, we don't want to run out and admit it. But strength comes from being able to confront these things. Okay. Strength is not drinking my life away. Strength is not taking everything on myself. No, that's being a martyr. That's playing the victim. And we alcoholics are great at playing the victim. Right. We were giving my youngest granddaughter a little bit of a hard time. She had a little scratch on her foot from a rake. And man, did she play the game. Limping around. It was not that bad. It wasn't even bleeding. Right. But she's an actor. She's like, and she comes to me, she's like, Grandpa, I hurt my toe. And she's trying to get sympathy from me. I'm like, do you see the boot on my foot? Do you see my toe wrapped up? And you're complaining to me about toe pain at the moment. I come downstairs. She went down those stairs just fine. I heard her. She came down those stairs just fine. What is it? What's she doing? Attention. Attention. But that doesn't sound too far off from what Dion did as an adult. Especially when I was drinking. Right? So there's going to be some things in there. Now remember, regret and shame, they're internal. Right? You don't need other people telling you what. It's one thing that I'm having a hard time. I'm tired of everybody out there assuming what I am. Then just don't talk to me. I really have no more patience for that bullshit from anybody. I'm tired of people classifying me, saying I'm this and I'm that, when I'm not. All right, so I stay away from it. Because they may not have been talking to me, but gosh, I seem to take it personally. And yes, I thought that you spotted, you got it first. Of course, I go through that first. Right. So what do we need? We need forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself. I had to. There was no way I was going to become a better person for my kids. There was no way I was going to be a better father for my kids without taking a look at that. Well, where was I going wrong? How should I be talking to my kids, and what actions are viable for a father to do, and things like that. That's what I need to work on. Not my kids aren't listening to me, right? Because I figured something out. My kids don't listen to me. They do everything I do. So now I get to use that. Hey, you remember when dad was doing this and it was stupid of me to do? You remember that? I don't say stupid. Let's rephrase that. And it wasn't the best example. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go that route. It could be as simple as that. Now, if I still lived with regret and shame, I'd never be able to do that. No, what that would be is a trigger. Oh, we don't want to talk about, well, that's a family secret. Okay. Are there skeletons in my closet? There might be. There might still be some skeletons in my closet, but the closet is usually pretty clean. We don't do family secrets. We don't do that stuff. And I was actually kind of raised that way. Oh, we talked through that, and it never happened that way. Just so you know, it didn't happen that way. No, well. I got pretty good at it, but I was in group homes at 13 and anger management and therapy and counselors and caseworkers, having to be an adult, right? Some of this can be with trauma, which is going to make it a little bit tougher, right? This is where I would say seek outside help. You want to know a really good place to go for working on trauma if you had parents of alcoholics, right? ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics. Their main thing is working on trauma from living with an alcoholic. And they get into it. They dig deep. All right. So if you want to confront it without having to go through a therapist, I'm just trying to give you options. But the main thing is the forgiveness of yourself. You are going to have to forgive yourself. God cannot do this for you. Nobody else in the world can do this for you. This is where it is an inside job. You have to forgive yourself. Have you forgiven yourself? Have you told yourself out loud that you forgive yourself? Amber says, I got mockingbird skeletons in my closet. Oh, yeah, well, I got mockingbird skeletons in my closet, too. Are people getting that joke because I'm mocking her? I thought that was pretty good. Oh, you two have me at 2, and I watched it. It corrected itself to 1. My God. All right. So I like this one right here. So the past becomes a classroom, not a prison. I like that one. And why do I? Because it means we're learning. We're in a classroom, we're learning, we're gaining knowledge. You remember in the 80s, knowledge is power, knowledge is power. And then we alcoholics thought knowledge was power. Right? Well, it wasn't working. But once you work through the steps and you do these things and you're not insane in the membrane, knowledge is power again. But the power is over your emotions, over your actions, not everyone else. It is the power to control your stuff. It's the only power you have. Use it. Use it. All right. So, amends and self-forgiveness, what it did is it freed me up from the old tapes playing in my head. And what are old tapes? Well, that is old tapes is old behavior. Okay, that's what that means. Not old tapes as in you got triggered by something. Well, it might be. Okay, so it gave me the freedom, and the main freedom that it gave me was choice. That was the big one that it gave me. I now had a choice. I can go this way, I can go that way. Before, when I was drinking, I didn't have the tools. I had the knowledge. I had the knowledge. I mean, I was 12 years sober. I was a drug and alcohol counselor. I had the knowledge, but I wasn't able to apply it to my life. And I couldn't do that because I was still drinking. So that changed when it changed again when I got back in the program and started doing what I was supposed to be doing. Amber says, I mean, people are supposed to learn a lesson in prison too. Not a self-constructed prison, silly. If nothing, Amber keeps me on my toes. All right. So, what's a great way to get out of this? Most of you already know my answer. If any of you know my answer or know me, you know what I'm going to say. It's service work. That is the answer. I'm still laughing at what Amber said. And yeah, you're supposed to learn a lesson in prison too. Oh, okay. Wait, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Let me look at this. All right. Okay. So whenever I help somebody else out, what I'm doing is I'm rewriting my story. Okay, I went and helped this person out. Do you know what happens when you have a problem and you go to somebody? Yeah, it happens every time I meet with a sponsee. Happened with it happened with both of them this week. That the answer we were both seeking was the same answer to a couple of different problems. So see, when I go and I help somebody else out, I will solve my own problem. It'll come out of my mouth at some point because it is on my mind, but now I'm living in the solution because I'm helping someone else out, and the answer comes effortlessly. It happens almost every time. So if you're going through a racking dilemma, or even if you're going through something small, just get out of self. It is the number one way to overcome all of this. All of it. Did I say all of it? I probably did. I repeat myself a lot. I mean, when I say I repeat myself, I say the same thing twice. Something I noticed. Right. So we're gonna do service work. Every time I help someone, I'm rewriting my story from guilt to grace. Right. So we don't need to live with regret or shame anymore. Now we live with purpose and peace. That'll take you a long way. Purpose and peace, it can take you a long way in this program. Alcoholics need purpose in their life. We do, or we're gonna. When this alcoholic doesn't have purpose in his life, he usually finds the wrong thing to go fuck around with. I do. All right. Idle hands are the devil's playthings. That's the saying, right? So that would be the answer. Working through the steps, doing 4 through 9 as fearless and thorough as you can. Okay. All right. You're not who you were. You're becoming who you're supposed to be. So keep on trudging. There it is. I've been waiting for an end line. I have. I've been trying to figure out an end line. Keep on trudging. That's going to be it. Nice. Keep on trudging. All right. As always, you can find me at trudgingtogether.org. You can go to YouTube, put in the Daily Trudge. I'm on Facebook. Heck, all you really need to do is go to Google and put in Trudging Together. I'm really the only one. So I grabbed that one a long time ago, and there is a meaning to the name. All right. So, and as always, if you like my stuff, please share it. I don't usually get into this part, but I'm going to start doing it. I ask that you do share what it is that I do. We're trying to help more people. We're trying to put together an organization that's based on community and not government money. And it is working already. It is. We're looking at a New Year's Eve event. Maybe. Maybe. We're looking at Primary Purpose Club. Maybe. We'll see. No guarantees yet. So we're going to have events each month. We're getting involved with the police department around here, the county, the community reach center, and yeah, now's the time. And I'm going to be calling in favors too. Not with you. You guys already helped me out, but in the professional area. So, all right. So, yeah, you are what you eat, and I ate nothing today. I'm water. So this is how we're going to try and end it from now on. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on